trade the chain. Oh, hey, you there? Are you here to learn how professionals have extra information about how the market may be going? If so, you're here in the right place. Now, I'm Trading Nichols, and on this channel, I do discuss Forex, I discuss stocks, I discuss crypto. If it has a candle, whether you like the Japanese kind or the kind I like, if it has a candle and it moves, I'm interested. On to the video. Okay, today we're going to talk about trade the chain. So I have been getting hedge fund manager level types of information that to the institutional investor, they have to pay thousands of dollars a day to kind of have this data. But some of the guys in the crypto space, professionals, have been there a long time, like Alex Mascioli, Weston Nelson, the Trade the Chain ambassador. Who else do we have in the credits here? Ryan Gorman, Matt Montemayor, otherwise known as Monty on the So, CJ Rachel. Now these are all good guys that are together and make this Trade the Chain possible. Different people have different parts of the project, but they all discuss the TA and use it so that you can have the best information about the markets. So when I first got Trade the Chain, I was just looking at this list. Hopefully I can pop this up on the screen. So I'm looking at Bitcoin, and right now, you know, it's down 2.8% for the day, but for the week it's up 10%. 30-day change is up 34%. Now, it doesn't stock come up with the 7-day change and 30-day change. I actually went over into the customized columns and added that because I like to see more than just the last day. I like to see how it's been doing lately, especially for coins that I don't follow as much that I might be willing to play with temporarily, right? And then a little over that, beyond that, it shows the daily sentiment. Now, if I'm sure it's not going to be on the screen because I'm on the top coins, but there are some coins like Crypto.com, like Voyager, they don't always have enough tweets. So there's only 1,200 followers on the Voyager Twitter feed, so there's not always enough people talking about Voyager to be able to generate a sentiment. Now they actually use 100,000. The AI uses 100,000 word comprehension to generate an understanding of sentiment. You know, is this good? Is this bad? Is this really good? And how many people are feeling that way in order to create this daily sentiment. But the daily sentiment is how good this day is over the last 20 days. And then it has a long-term sentiment, like some things like XRP. I'm not surprised to have a long-term sentiment of very bullish right now. They're usually just bullish because they just did that really big run. So they had a lot of very bullish days. I mean, they doubled in price. How can you blame them? Even though right now they've lost 12% today. Even though right now their sentiment is falling on the daily, the long-term still shows very bullish because they had all that action. I mean, 30-day change up through 133%. You can see that, right? So that's tremendous. So you got the daily sentiment, and something else I asked in the private conference, you know, that you have access to for the community, where you can ask your questions, and it's just you guys. It's not for the YouTube. They do a separate one for the YouTube. So you can ask your own personal questions. I asked, how was it that, what was the timing? Like, is this 24-hour change just today? Like, do I have to wait till midnight to see what the percent changes tomorrow? And they're like, no, it's always the last 24 hours or the last 7 days to the time that it's updated, and it's updated rather frequently. Okay, so updates all the time. So even like this hourly sentiment that I haven't talked about yet, it's showing a range that Bitcoin is going to be, and it's 92% accurate. Now, granted, it does consider going up and down, right? So you have a negative 0.9%. That in the next hour it could go negative 9.9% or up 1.24%. That's basically, it looks like a little bit more upside, but it's looking pretty flat. And Bitcoin is always heavily talked about. There's 40,000 tweets about it on the average tweet volume right now, but there's 10% less talking about it right now on the relative tweet volume, and also has a relative trading volume. Those traditional metrics that you probably can get without Trade the Chain. But it packages it all together right here. We also talked about the effectiveness of the announcements, because you have the Trade the Chain, and then I didn't even expect this. I just thought I was just going to have this tool, and I get this email on Saturday and Sunday night suggesting I install Slack. We are looking at, as a community, moving over to another forum, which is unfortunate historically wise, to see what's happened before. But Slack just got announced that they're getting bought. To all those of you who own the Slack stock, I sold it because it had done its normal up, and I didn't know. I wasn't an inside trader, I didn't know that they're going to get swooped in and bought by somebody, and they would go from $25 to $42 in just a few days. I didn't have a lot in it, so I made a little bit instead of the big bit. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We may be moving to another one for the community, but a lot of community members are very active. A few people that are members like myself, and a few people from the group that run it that are very active as well. Some more active than others. Most active is probably Weston, that I'm aware of. So two types of moving forward to, there's two types. One of the things that he shared is how effective is it? He's been tracking it, putting up numbers. It gets listed on Coinbase. Most of you, if you've been trading, you've heard about the Coinbase effect. It gets listed on Coinbase. How likely is it going to go up? And why is it that I always hear about it after the fact? I never hear about it sooner. That's where it comes in, that you have alerts on this. On the Slack side of things, it's not inside the Trade the Chain app. It's actually inside of the community app, where you get coin alerts. Like today, it talked a lot about the changes in the price of Ethereum. So I have that part of my monitor is blocked by the camera. So significant developments. That's the one I was thinking of. So like Binance today, Synthetics was added on. I didn't have any money in my Kraken account yet, and by the time I moved money over and put in a limit order for Synthetic, it went up without me. And that one's, looking at Synthetics, if I could have gone in at 5.8 or $4.88 and sold it at 5.21, 5.40, that would have been a good day trading profit. So that wasn't one of the most revolutionary ones. But on average, if it gets listed on, say, Coinbase, the same day, it usually goes up by 23%. Well, hold on. There's two different scenarios. You have the pre-announcement type. Put that up on the screen. And you have the announcement type. So if it's pre-announced, the same day it's pre-announced, it'll go up 23%. And from the day announced to the day listed, so pre-announcement to the day listed, it'll have a 43% rise. So it's good to be really early on this. And other times, it just goes straight up where it's announced. It doesn't have a pre-announcement. And that's where the same day it'll go up 30% and an additional 4% on average the next day. Now, some of these are a lot more than that. This is a median of several. So the standard ones you may know of is there's the Coinbase effect. But did you also know that when you get in on a... if something gets listed on a Binance or Uniswap, these are the standard ones that I know of, that when it gets listed there tends to be a pump and then a dump. It's not something you stay with. It's something that you have to react to right away, or you may miss the chance at the wave. If you're sleeping, don't worry about it. Another one will come. There's never a trade there's never a trade that you've missed. There's just a good opportunity that you were a part of, because you can't be everywhere at the same time, right? Don't get FOMO. So ones that you don't know as well, that still have an effect where it pumps nice, is if there's a significant development on trade the change out of Bitfinex or out of Huobi, Houbi. I think I said that right. Okay. Okay, I'll have to edit this in, but in the coins page, it's not just a percent of likelihood that it may go down or up a certain amount of range on the hourly. It also has a median bar that I didn't know about until Alex pointed it out to me during the video. And that median bar is by median, where is it more likely to be inside of that range? Okay, so that's a further indicator that I didn't realize there's a lot built into that one little tool. And now, that's what's projected by AI that's going to happen in the next hour, right? During the XRP bull run, I was trying to find moments where this was saying more likely to go up and not just have the big retracement, because it just kept going up and I didn't know where to get into it. And usually my trading rules is I can stay in a trade if it's pushing, but I can't enter it if it's pushing, because it can just as violently as it goes up, as it goes down, but it pushed up another 20 cents without me. And I did get a few cents in there because I had the confidence from Trade the Chain data to go back into it, but I just couldn't stay with it. It wasn't like I'd kept my sub 20 cent position and had stuck with it. Okay. So it's very important to have an exit plan. Otherwise, you can't get too greedy. Get in, get out. If it keeps going up without you, oops. Or take some profits along the way. That's another way of going for it. Okay. Now, what I saw during the XRP is oftentimes that percentage range that was suggesting like 6 to 8% move. Sometimes it would take a few hours. It wouldn't happen that next hour. It was just a likelihood of explosiveness that was still in there. And sometimes the graph makes me think by TA, the hour indicator is saying what I think. So that's another thing for me is I'm looking at the TA and I'm thinking I'm seeing this as it looks like it's going to bounce, and the AI is often agreeing with me. Where it's extra exciting is when something is going just stable and sideways, and the AI thinks it's going to shoot up, which means I can get in it when no one else looking at the TA is thinking it's going to happen. And now that's really cool. Okay. Now it is 92% accurate, and remember, it does have a range. It can go down on you. It doesn't have to go up. Okay. So Alex likes to use it all in combination: the bullish nature, the daily sentiment, the tweet volume, and that the hourly, prediction. All three coincide, and sometimes he'll take a trade just on that without knowing anything about the crypto, without having gone into it at all. Not even doing TA. Sometimes he'll do TA and he'll double check with Trade the Chain. Other times he'll trade just because of what the Trade the Chain says. Okay. Now, how good you use the information, that's on you. Not financial advice. You got your big point bounce on, like Ivan on Tech likes to say. If you click the buy, if you click the sell, the results to your credit, or like I say, to your debit, it's on you. Okay. So yeah, that's the Trade the Chain in a nutshell. Down below in the description is a way to click over onto that, and it does, be aware that I wasn't sponsored to do this video. It's just an affiliate. So if you decide to go for Trade the Chain, I'd appreciate it if you use that description and get yourself over to them and join on up. They do have a 14-day guarantee, and I was sure, I was evaluating, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm in this. And then the bull market was happening, and having AI analyze and help, and having tweet volume and seeing, how this works. Would I, with a smaller portfolio, always afford to put in $100 a month to have this? Maybe not. But if you have a larger portfolio, or if you have expendable income, realize it is. I think it is going to help you. Okay. Maybe I should cut some of that negativity out. But it's what you make of it. And if you are not going to go into any trades, it's not going to do any good. But if you're going to take advantage of the information, then it's something that you can use potentially to make money. No guarantees, of course. Use the information to the skills that you have. I'm coming into Trade the Chain already having been successfully increased my portfolio in crypto without this information, just using TA, just using some fundamentals and keeping my ear to the ground through digital asset news and also through Trade the Chain's weekly YouTubes. That's free. That's fantastic information. But if you want daily or even hourly information and a community that backs into that, then this is something that you can get into. Okay. All right, it's time for me to get back to working out, so you got to get out of here. I'm kidding. Up here is going to be the most related video. Down here is going to be the video that YouTube thinks you like best. And right here, I'm going to put my face. You can go ahead and slap it. I mean, if you hover over it, it lets you subscribe. Remember, everybody, trade safe. Trade the chain. Trade the chain.